Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man. It's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to Cocktails. Dirty discussions with Kiki and Medina Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called I'm Curious to Know. The ingredients you need: 1.5 ounces of cognac, 1 ounce of strawberry liqueur, 1/2 ounce of strawberry puree, 1 ounce of lime juice, 2 ounces of sparkling water. And how you're going to make an I'm Curious to Know is you're going to add the cognac, the strawberry liqueur, the puree, and the lime juice into a cocktail shaker filled with ice. Shake for 5 to 10 seconds. Pour from the shaker into a glass filled with ice. Top with the sparkling water. Garnish with the strawberry and enjoy. This drink is brought to you by your tipsy homegirl. Thank you, girl, for keeping us right and tipsy.
Yes, thank you. Can y'all reach the drink?
I was just going to say, I can't reach my drink.
Can you reach?
I got long arms.
Okay,
Thank
y'all,
you.
if you hear a voice, we have a very, very special guest with us. His name is Theo. No, I'm just playing.
I was like,
We have Tyomi Morgan, the best pleasure and intimacy coach that there is.
yes. This has been a long time coming. I've wanted you to come on the show for so long.
Really?
And so when your publicist emailed, I was like, yes,
You're welcome.
finally.
It's a match made in heaven because I literally just got to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, this
This is
worked
going to
out
be
so
tight.
perfect.
Yeah.
I love that they reached out too, because I'm just like, this is so dope. It fits. This is
It
very
does.
fitting. We have a lot of questions.
Oh, I have all the answers.
Okay, good. Before we get into everything that Miss Tyomi has to share, we do have a few short announcements. Remember to sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/cocktails for the bonus content, updates on things, live Zoom calls with you guys, all of that good stuff. Also, head to I'mCuriousToKnow.com to get your merch, to order your game, and then also live shows. I think at this point we just have 1 day left, or maybe it's today, but we are in Birmingham, Alabama, and then we will be in Dallas, Texas on May 20th. Yeah, we still have both of those dates left. So we'll be in Dallas, Texas on May 20th at Studio at the Factory, and in Birmingham we'll be at Stardome. So you guys make sure that you are using the links that we provide for you to buy your tickets, to make sure that they are actually authentic tickets, and we can't wait to meet you guys.
Tyomi.
Hello.
So we do a segment called Weird Sex, but before we get into weird sex, have you had any weird sex?
Yes.
What makes it weird to you?
And did you like it?
So when things are sprung on me that I didn't expect, or things that I haven't tried yet, that
Like a little anal?
well, no, anal isn't weird to me. I like anal, but like when people want me to dom them that I didn't know were submissive.
That could be a little weird and surprising.
Yeah, and they asked me to do things that I was just like,
Will you still do it?
yeah, because, I'm with the shits. So I just be like, okay.
It catches you off guard a little.
Right. As long as it's not like too out there, like if it's involving blood or involving animals, I'm not with that. But,
But if he wants you to punch him in his throat or something, you could do that.
I do that, yeah.
Okay.
For sure, yeah, because I definitely kick people in their chest and, all kind of stuff. I used to, like, be really aggressive, and I used to play fight. I stopped doing that. Unless I'm being paid to wrestle, then that's a whole different thing.
Oh, that's the thing. I might need to get into that business.
Listen, let me tell you.
You might.
15 minutes of wrestling, $400.
Wrestling him or another woman?
Him. Yeah. See, I have a fetish for, it's like a size thing. I have a fetish for wrestling small people
So you like small men?
and picking them up. I do. Yeah.
How tall are you?
5'10" and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you hear that, little men? There are people that do appreciate y'all.
I do
Okay.
appreciate them. I'm not going to lie. And one of the funniest times I had was at Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah. It was after hours. And this little short white guy saw me walking from the bathroom, and I had this big afro. And he was like, whoa, I like your hair. He was clearly drunk. I was too. I was lit. And I was like, oh, well, thanks. And he was like, can I give you a hug? I was like, sure. And then his friend was like, hey, you know what he would really like? If you picked him up.
And do what?
I was like,
Like
no,
pick him
just
up like a
pick
baby?
Yeah, just pick him up. Like, just
Oh.
pick
On
him
your
up.
back or in the front?
Just pick him up, right? So, because this guy had to be like 5'6". So I was like, for real? Now, he had no idea this was like a fetish of mine.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was like, hell yeah. He was like, wait, let's make an event out of this. Let's go to my shop. He owned a fur and leather shop. And so
What? Were you by yourself?
no, I wasn't. So I was with this guy that I had literally just met. And the whole time he's watching this and he's just like, what the fuck? Who is this woman? So we go in this man's shop. I'm like trying on all these furs and stuff. And then like we had shots.
It sounds like a
Ooh,
movie.
it
Yep.
does sound like a movie.
It really is a
I'm
movie,
picturing
though.
the snow.
Yeah, and so it was definitely snowy. And so we had shots or whatever, and then he's like, all right, let's do this thing. And so I pick him up and I put him on my hip.
Like a little toddler.
Like a little
did
toddler,
not.
I did. I put him on my hip, and then I took him and I wrapped him around my waist like a belt, and then we started wrestling. Now, what pissed me off was the fact that he bit me.
What is going?
Listen.
Was this racism?
Listen, that's what pissed me off because I was like, how dare you sink your white teeth into my black flesh without my permission? I did
Right.
not ask
How
you to
dare
bite
you
me.
treat me like a mule?
Listen. So, hard stop. I was like, don't do that again. So then we go back into it. And I think that he thought it was funny. So he tested it out and he did
hell
it
no.
again.
He bit you again?
Yep.
Did you have to
So-
beat his ass?
Oh, I yoked him up. Now, there's a picture that I posted on my Instagram. I think it's still there. But I sat on him in a way, like his arm was like yoked up and I was sitting, I smothered him. And so I just sat there until he turned beet red. And
You were sitting on his face.
Yeah, I said, yeah. And so
This is weird.
he was face down, so I was like sitting on the back of his head and he was like contorted. And so the guy I was with was like, what the fuck is happening? And so he took a picture of it and my face was just straight. I was like, this is for my ancestors, because how dare you? How dare you? And so when he finally tapped out and I let him up, he was crying.
I bet he was.
What
But
was
he-
going on?
Because he was going through a divorce and he was about to
gosh.
lose all of his stuff, including the store, right? And so he started crying and was like, thank you so much. I needed this. How did you know? You're a goddess. La la la. I was like, give me a fur coat.
Yeah, and some leather.
He was not trying to come up off that fur coat. I was pissed. But at the same time, I came away from it with a memory because he had no idea that he was literally feeding into my fetish. I was like, yo, this is lit. I had no idea.
It's crazy.
That is insane and
Yeah.
weird, and a great segue into our weird sex segment.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. Man is absolutely not necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
Yeah, now this one is not quite as juicy as that one, but this is another ER story. So oftentimes the same doctor, Dr. Bawa, said that she has treated a lot of patients who end up having foreign objects in their bodies. I know at least one of us on the couch knows about that. Now, a lot of people end up with fruits and vegetables in their bodies, usually stuck in either their vagina or in their anus. So some people are using those to masturbate, obviously, but she warns people that it can be dangerous because these things have bacteria on them, they have pesticides, and they're on the surface of these different pieces of food. Not
That's
toys, but
nasty.
food, and it can cause irritation. Cuts and abrasions can also occur. One of the strangest cases she said that she remembers involving fruit was when a 20-something-year-old woman said she lost a banana in her vagina, right? So she came in late at night like the people usually do. She said that's when this kind of stuff happens. The doctor put on gloves and a face shield, and she used the speculum to go inside and look for the banana to take it out. And she said she was expecting to see a small banana. Now, why she was expecting to see a small banana, I don't know, because if you're going to do it, go hard or go home. What am I playing with that for? Matter of fact, pass me a plantain. But anyway,
Plantains are small.
No, they
No,
not.
they're short. What
no,
the-
you're talking about them little mini bananas. The plantains are the big,
Big
long,
ones.
thick
Yes.
Oh, okay.
banana-looking things. Okay, but there was absolutely nothing there when she looked. So the woman thought about it for a moment, and then she said, "Oh yeah, I peeled it." Now I've never thought to peel the banana and then
God.
put it in. Like
It will
it's gonna
turn
be,
into mush.
and that's exactly what happened.
Oh, God.
So they think that she did it a while ago, and the organic matter then became absorbed into her body. So one good thing about peeling the banana was that she didn't introduce any dirt that might have been on the skin, and unlike some patients, like a man who got a cucumber stuck in his asshole, who said he slipped and fallen while unloading groceries from his car. Why do
Boy,
y'all
stop.
tell people stuff like this? They know
Stop
what the
it.
fuck is going on.
Be for real.
Like what? The woman was honest when she went there. They were grateful, so they were able to, you know, talk to her about this and give her some tips. And again, y'all should know this, but in case you need a reminder, sex toys are safe, so use those. Use the things that are built for that. Still clean them, wash them, and all that good stuff. But don't be using like food.
That's nasty. A mushy banana in your pussy. Why do
I
you do
know.
that?
I wonder how it
That's
smells.
I wonder how it tastes now. Like, does her pussy taste like bananas?
Like
She
maybe a little
probably had
banana
a raging
pudding.
yeast infection.
Rage,
y'all.
bacterial
probably did.
vaginosis. She
Oh,
had
all of
she had
it.
all of it.
Like, you know how the cartoons have that like green stuff coming? It was probably like that. Ooh.
That's nasty and weird.
I wouldn't have peeled it, like, cause you know, pervertibles are a thing. Like, if she would have put a condom on it and like just masturbated with it, it
That
would have
would've
been
been
one
better.
thing, right? If it was still with the peel on it, with the condom, it would have been cool. But peeling it off, like, why?
I've never had the urge to use food. An electric toothbrush, yeah.
Yes.
But like,
I've done that.
I have had the urge, but I did not succumb to the urge. And the only reason was my vibrator died on me. It was late, and I only had that, and I just really needed to get it out, but I just had to go to bed.
wow.
I use
Yeah.
the cucumber for like vaginal cleansing. Like, I've done that.
Oh, do you peel it?
Yeah, you peel a part of it, and then you use it to basically like cleanse the vagina.
I've never heard of that.
Me either.
Look it up on YouTube. My girl Gigi from I Am Living a Line, she does a whole class
Oh, she
on
came
it.
on our show before.
Yeah, it's my girl. It's my girl. Yeah. Apparently, like they've done this in ancient times in like Egypt and China for vaginal cleansing, because you know cucumber is mostly water.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to try that.
Who knew? Yeah, let me know how it goes.
I'll let you know. Hopefully, I'm not a weird
It's
sex
nice.
story.
It's like like
Cooling.
it is. If you put it in the freezer before you do it, so like you peel it, put it in the freezer, and then you use
Put it in like a tampon.
Yeah, you just like use it like a dildo, right? You can like just like
just
twist
like push it in and out.
Yep, and like twist
swirl
it. Yep, and then once it gets warm, then you can just stop and then yeah. But she has a whole video on YouTube about like the process and the ritual and how to do it. Yeah,
Oh, I'm like, try
Interesting.
it. Try it.
you know, cucumber pussy.
All right, y'all. We have Taomi with us here today, and we know that you are a pleasure and intimacy coach, but we don't really know what is that.
Well, I have that title because I do a range of things within coaching people through like sexual issues, sexual dysfunctions. And a lot of what I do is I work with the body and I also work with people's energy. So underneath the umbrella of being a pleasure and intimacy coach, I'm a sensual fitness coach, the creator of the Cowgirl Workout, which is the only somatic healing fitness program to teach women how to improve their intimate movement. And I'm also an authentic Tantra practitioner. So people who are looking to like take their sexual experience to the next level, or if they're looking to move through trauma, they may have experience that's like blocking them from experiencing sexual pleasure, then I use those tools to assist with that as well.
Do you have to have some sort of certification for something like this?
For authentic Tantra, yes. And for lineage-based Tantra, absolutely. There's a lot of neo-Tantra out there, which like people go and like they'll read books and then they're just kind of like pull from that. And then all of a sudden they're a Tantra guru. But technically, Tantra is something that comes from an oral tradition, so it has to be passed down from like teacher to student. And so I got my certification in 2018 from the Institute of Authentic Tantra Education, which is based in Canada, and it's the only government accredited Tantra school in the world. And they are establishing an Atlanta branch this
ATL,
month.
how?
So what does like that training process look like? Are you just listening to lectures? Do you have to like try stuff? Do you have to make some fun videos?
Do you have to be naked, or are we looking at vaginas?
We're doing a combination of things, but we definitely have to practice. The only way we can be a practitioner is if we practice ourselves, right? So it's a lot of breathing techniques, a lot of visualization, meditations, and also masturbation.
Really? In the room
Yep.
with the people and the teachers?
No.
Okay.
Well, we'll practice it on models, but then we go into our own private settings and we do it ourselves.
Like homework.
Yeah, exactly. That's our homework, right? So And then also movement and learning nonviolent communication, because in sexual communication, it's all about being able to communicate our needs to our partners without casting judgment, without, creating harm. And so when I did it, it was like a year-long process. Now it's like a 2-year-long process because they want people to come in with like so much understanding and practice before going into the full certification course. So I will say that was the most transformative thing I've ever done for my life. Just seeing how my life did a 180 in like 5 years is phenomenal. The amount of trauma that I was able to transmute and like release from my body, and then just like the deep connectedness I was able to, I've always been connected to the Creator, but like when I did this, it just kind of like brought me back home and created more magnetism and like magic in my life. So
I love to hear that.
Tantra has way more benefits than just like helping you to have better sex. Just in every area of your life, it gives you antidotes to what we call root poisons. And so if, let's say you're trying to work through like attachment, which there's so like thousands of variations of attachment.
Yeah.
Fire element meditation will help you do that. And it's just interesting to see like the things that fall out of your life or the things that come up as you're doing the work. Like there was stuff that was buried so deep in my consciousness. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that was there? I forgot about that.
So this is kind of like therapy almost.
It is.
Therapy for sex.
Right.
So, like, what would make somebody reach out to you? What are they usually coming to you and saying, I need help with this thing?
And talk to us like we don't know what all these things are, because I'm sure some of our listeners are like, what's Tantra? What's somatic? Well, you know, some of the words that people use in this world, people be like, dang, it sounds so great, but I don't know what it is. So what type of person normally gets asked for your help?
So I'll say this about Tantra. Tantra is weaving light and sound with form. So light is visualization, sound are mantras, and form is our body. So we use visualization and mantras in meditation to basically heal our energy bodies. And we use sex as medicine. So we're not just sitting meditating and just being like, we're going to be enlightened beings. We also use sex to do that too. And so we use sex as like, we use pleasure in the purification process to like soften the process in like healing trauma. And so when we say somatic, that means of the body. So I work a lot with somatic healing practices, meaning things that you do with your body or in the body. And so people typically come to me when they've hit a wall in their like sex life.
It's boring.
It's either boring or they're not connecting with their partner or they're in a sexless marriage or a sexless relationship.
You about to cheat. Vaginas are dry and dicks are lurking. For young 20-year-olds.
Or they have vaginismus, which is an involuntary contraction of the vaginal muscles when something is trying to be inserted. And I can successfully say that like with the Cowgirl workout, I've helped treat vaginismus. Like that was like mind-blowing for me that I got that review from a client. But people come to me when they feel like they just don't know what to do. They're at their wit's end. They've gone to therapy, like traditional therapy, or they've tried other like, you know, methods. They've read books, they've listened to podcasts, they've done all of that. And they're just like, I really vibe with you. I like you and how you present things, and I need your help. And so I work with people one-to-one. I also do group classes and group coaching. And I like to say, think of me as like a sister or like a best friend, just with some tools that I'm going to give to you to assist you. And I always tell my clients, like, I'm not here to tell you that you're doing anything wrong. I'm just here to give you another set of tools that you get to use to move through the issues that you're having. And a lot of times, some of the things that they're experiencing are symptoms of something else.
Of what?
So, for instance, like vaginal dryness or erectile dysfunction or even a sexless marriage, like having no sex in a relationship is a symptom. And there's something that's the foundational cause of that, right? So, coaching is not sexy. I'm going to say that because we are doing a lot of think work first, where it's very much so talk-based. And I'm trying to get to the root of what is the cause of the issue. And then once we get to the root, I'm like, okay, now these are the tools.
Do you suggest that they do this with, does the partner normally do the class with them?
Yeah, if they are partnered up, then I suggest that they do the coaching with their partner, because if you're elevating and your partner's in the same place, you're unevenly yoked and it's going to cause issues.
Yeah.
So
you growing
gotta
and now
be-
he mad and insecure.
Exactly. So
And assuming you was fucking somebody else when really you was just getting your insides right.
And that's the thing. It's like, now for the Cowgirl Workout specifically, it's a female-based, thing. And so these ladies come to me and I train them, and it's so funny because their partners be like, how you learn this?
Now, what is the Cowgirl Workout?
The Cowgirl Workout is it's my fitness program that teaches women how to stroke back, whether you're on top, on the bottom. So
I like that. Kiki, you be stroking back.
I do.
I
I
sure
can't.
do.
Till I get too tired.
I be getting that rhythm. Woo!
because the
I
stroke,
need to come to the workout class.
and that's the thing. It's like, it started out as like, oh, I'm teaching women how to ride, but I realized that you can't teach people. You can teach choreography, but there's no way you can actually
get
teach
that
them how to have stamina and correct the problem areas that, like, this is a worldwide thing. Okay, like,
Yeah.
women worldwide are like, my knees, my back,
My hip.
my hips, my stamina, and so those are the 4 areas that I treat with the workout. And I realized when I did my research, I was like, no, you have to teach fitness. There's no way that these women are going to be able to get up there and be confident without teaching fitness. And so I created this fitness program that includes strength training and yoga and twerk and pelvic movement that pretty much treats these problem areas. And like certain things that my clients have experienced that I didn't even expect was, like, for instance, some of them were having inconsistent periods. And in working out with me, periods like clockwork. Some of them, like, just in life, just feeling very stuck because their hips were stuck. And as soon as their hips opened up, so many other things in their lives opened up from just, like, their magnetism and, like, what they were able to attract in their jobs, in their relationships with their family. Like, that's why I always say, I don't just teach a dick riding class. Like, y'all don't understand. This is deeper than that. Because
When is class next?
so that's the thing. I have an online tribe. I have an online tribe, and I'm also going through a rebrand right now. The members.thecowgirlworkout.com. And now that I'm here in Atlanta, I will be teaching
In person.
more, because I haven't really taught in person since the pandemic.
Okay.
Like, because I was touring like a rock star. I was doing like 28, 30, 32 cities.
That's amazing.
International. Okay, I've been to London. I've been to Toronto.
wow.
I've been to Nigeria.
What?
Yes.
That's where I'm trying to go.
Baby, listen, I was very.
I know you had a time in Nigeria.
Look, so the year that I went to Lagos, it was Cardi B's first time.
Wow.
And she was performing up the street from my hotel.
Oh, wow.
And I went to the festival. That festival was $13.
$13?
I'm telling you.
Listen, I'm telling you, please, I urge every Black person in America to go to Africa. I don't care what country it is. Find what
Got to
country
go.
resonates with you. Go.
I went to South Africa. There was this for New Year's Eve, and it was amazing. I was like, I can't wait. And I want to go to all of Africa.
Go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to Mauritius for my birthday this year.
I don't even know where that is.
So Mauritius,
Where?
Mauritius is an island off of the southern eastern coast of Africa.
Mauritius.
Oh.
Yep.
That sounds like rich girl activity.
It is.
I
It
want all
sounds
parts
beautiful.
of it.
It is, y'all.
So I do have a question for you about writing.
Yes.
So I don't know if you're in a relationship or if you have a sex partner, if you're sexually active right now, but do you feel a lot of pressure? If they know what you do, are they like, dang, she about to get in here and ride this thing like a cowgirl?
Listen, first and foremost, I be laughing when they do that. What's up, sex teacher? You gonna teach me something? Shut the fuck up and just take this pussy, right? So, but I don't know. I don't really feel pressure. I feel very honored when they ask me to get up there, because sometimes they don't ask. I think if anything, some of them get a little intimidated, so they don't ask. But I love when they be like, all right, get on top. I have one partner who we've been friends with benefits, like true friends with benefits, for like 17 years.
Wow.
Yep. But he strokes back, and I just be like, yeah, up there. I love it. So yes, I don't feel intimidated. I like to show out when I have energy, because sometimes they want to have sex and it be late at night and your girl got a bedtime.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you become a real adult.
Listen, a real adult with responsibilities. Like, I'd be like, it's 11 o'clock. It's almost past my bedtime.
Can't work out right now.
I'm like, I'm just going to lay here, you know. But if you get me when I have energy, I'm booking.
So speaking of the stroke, I think you wrote like a blog or something I saw on your website about ways to switch up the stroke.
Yes.
And I always love to help the men out. What are some of those ways that they can switch up the stroke?
Okay, so.
Because I didn't know you could switch it up.
You can. It's so many different stroke patterns, and a lot of them just go straight for the bottom of the pussy, aka the cervix. And it's just a straight, like, stabby stroke, right? But I always say, if you slow it up and you do a pressing stroke, where it requires for you to have more hip control, right?
Yeah.
You
Like
press. Exactly.
It's almost like
dip.
scooping ice cream out.
Exactly. So you dip in, and then with that dip, you can also curve it up. You can curve it down. You can swirl. You can do shallow. See, the shallow stroke is so underrated, and I hate it. I hate
a little shallow stroke.
Listen, because you want to know why? There's a heavy concentration of nerve endings at the first third part of the vagina, and then the bottom third. The middle of the vagina has nerve endings too, but because of the A spot and the P spot and the C spot being cervix, there's a lot of nerve endings up there. And then at the very beginning where the G area is and the perineal sponge, like, it's a lot of erogenous zones at the entrance. And I'd be like, man, y'all
just was rushing in the club.
Exactly. Don't rush up in the club. Stay at the door a little bit, you know?
There's a whole world in here. Take your time navigating through this pussy.
Look. That's me. I'd be like, can you just take your time and savor it? Because it's pockets in there. And you unlock different levels when you take your time.
Yeah, and if you don't take your time, now you're getting to a point where you're about to come.
I hate that.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And now it's over.
Yeah.
Pass me my damn toy. Reach in that drawer right
Even
there.
if it felt good, it's like still I wanted to keep this going.
Exactly. And they want to get mad when you bring the toy out. It's like, look, you need to relax because.
Well, who else is going to do it? You tapped out.
My partner, we had an amazing sexual experience the other night. He went and got the toy.
Yes.
He was like, he's like, where's your toy at? He whispered in my ear. I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I was so excited.
I like when they pull the toys out.
I love it. Bitch, I sprawled my legs out. He ran in the bathroom. He got the toy. And he came and he was like, I'm just going to play with your pussy for a little bit. So he starts playing with it with the vibrator. And like I wasn't about to come yet, but he put it on high. I was like, hold up, baby, let's turn down a little bit.
Down.
So I start speaking in tongues. And so then he kind of like played with it with his fingers and the toy. Then he gets on top of me, like missionary position, but his knees are up and he's standing up and I'm like laying down still. And he puts his dick inside of me. He starts slowly doing that ice cream.
Yes, the
you
ice
guys,
cream scoop.
It's like it felt so fucking good. I started thanking him. Like it was like it felt like somebody turned on a faucet. I've never felt this before, and it was just spilling out onto his dick, and then that made him feel. Which the vibrator almost broke. I done threw it across the room now because now you got me going, and now the dick is active. Everything's just activated now. It was amazing.
That's what I'm saying. Teamwork makes the dream work. They
really
think that
does.
toys are their enemy, and it's not. It's literally an assistant. And if you know how to work it right, you can get that round two really going. Like it's speeding up the process of engorgement for us because we get erections too. They just don't see them because they're internal.
Right.
So it's like, you know, there's a whole discussion right now on social media, and like I do a lot of like public talks about sex on Twitter and the whole foreplay situation, right? And I'm like, you guys, it's out of course because if you say foreplay, they just think you can skip it. But I'm like, if you use toys as outer course, then when you want to go into the penetrative part of sex, then it's going to be better.
The
vagina's going to be wetter,
warmer,
open. It's going to receive.
Pulsating.
Yes, because like they don't understand that the vagina is at a resting state, and when it's at a resting state, it's not at its full length.
That baby is asleep.
It's sleep.
She gotta
And they
open
just
up.
think because you show up with your dick waving high that now I'm supposed to be ready. That's
No,
not
it
how
doesn't-
it goes.
But then it also, not even just for the vagina, but like, we sound like real adults using vagina. It also just like makes the vibe better. Because
does.
sometimes when sometimes rushing into sex, that is the vibe. And you're just like, everybody's just passionate. You just have to have each other. But there are these beautiful moments in foreplay where I get to feel you. I can feel your heartbeat. You get to feel me. We maybe sweat. We can breathe on each other.
I like the sweat.
Oh, I love
Ooh,
it.
the
I love the
sweat.
caressing and just like getting us ready.
Looking at each other.
Looking at each other.
It's the
Like,
eye
don't close
gazing
your
for me.
eyes. Look at me.
Yeah.
It's the eye gazing for me. And I can always tell when someone has trauma that's like trapped in their body when they can't eye gaze.
Yeah.
And that's like an element of Tantra, like a huge element is eye gazing because it's connection. You know what I mean? And like, I need the foreplay.
I need it, and I need that connection. I can't have good, passionate sex. Not even that we have to be in love and that you have to be my boyfriend.
Right,
But
right.
if we're laying down and we're having sex, I want there to be some level of passion. There's
Exactly.
a spectrum
Yeah.
of passion, but we need to have. So I'm not the, oh, hey, we're taking our clothes off and I'm just going to no,
no, baby, I can't-
baby,
I
we
can't.
grown. Let's get nasty and let's start.
I'd rather
the-
watch YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah, right? It's like, let's explore
ain't
each other
it.
from
Yeah.
start.
From start to
If
finish.
we gonna do it, let's
Finish.
do it.
Yes.
Right, let's not waste time because I don't want to waste my time. I cannot cannot stand wasting my time.
Especially with sex, because there's so much that can happen from sex.
There's so much
We're
that can
really
happen.
risking it.
I mean,
here.
pregnancy can happen, transmission of, infections can happen. And so we willingly take that risk for pleasure, right? But if pleasure is not the center of that, if I'm not feeling pleasure,
What did we just do?
What did we
Now we're
was
laying
the
here. I'm like,
reason?
should I? I'm gonna leave.
It's like sandpaper, like really?
Nobody likes that feeling, and you
No.
can feel when somebody feels that.
Yep.
That this was a waste of our time.
Yep.
Don't need to see you again.
Bad
I've gotten
days.
better in life with like showing grace and being patient with partners who don't perform at the level that I want them to because I have come to realize that I have an energy that can come off as intimidating for some and they can lose their erections because they're so excited or they end up having performance anxiety because
Oh, yeah.
it's like they have all these fantasies about me and then they have me in front of them and they see all this body and face
And they're like, "Oh, shit."
and everything and they just get
Aw,
shook,
hell.
right? And back in the day, I would just let them have it. I'm not gonna lie. But as I like got deeper into my studies and stuff, I just started to show more compassion. And so in finding other ways to still experience pleasure without penetration being the center of the sexual experience. So like when kink came into my life, I was like, well shit, we ain't gotta have a dick in there. You into rope? You into spanking?
What would you say? And Kiki, I want to know your answer too. What is a favorite kink of yours?
Impact. Yes, impact.
What does that mean? Like he's running into you?
Spanking, yeah.
Oh.
Hand spanking, paddle spanking, flogging, even wax play, I would consider it to be impact because it's wax impacting the skin. Yeah, and I would say combined with a little bit of erotic asphyxiation, like a little breath play. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, I don't know. Like, I have noticed that I get extremely wet when a hand is around my throat, especially the back of my neck, like a cat. Like, sheesh.
Now I don't like the back of the neck. It makes me feel real Tina Turner like. But I do like
in the back.
I like the front of that throat.
I'm gonna yank you up real quick.
I feel you though, and everybody has their limits around the neck. Because some people are like, it's a hard no for them because it's a trigger. Just like for me, even though impact is my thing, you cannot impact me with a belt. It takes me right back to my childhood. I can't do that. But like I have had like soft limits like around whips and like dragon tails and the people that I typically bottom for. Shout out to Jasmine and King New York. They have pushed those limits, and so I've taken a whip. I've taken dragon tails, and I was like, all right, but just a few, not like repeated.
Start
I
off
can't.
slow.
Yeah.
Kiki, do you have a kink, a favorite kink?
I think I don't know. Is this a kink? I think I'm a bit of an exhibitionist. I like for people to watch me have sex. And I think that's why I enjoy taking pictures and then videos. And I really don't be scared about them getting out. Because, don't nobody send this shit out to
Right,
nobody.
right. Disclaimer.
Oh, she wants us to
Disclaimer.
send it.
Right. But it's just like, I was proud of my work. The
Right.
pictures look good. The videos look good. And I like it. And I like sharing that. And I like seeing people's reactions or, their text or whatever they send me back. And I like the actual, let me give somebody my phone and you record it and we just see what it looks like later. I really like that.
We tried.
Oh, I really enjoy, and this is new because I used to really love like the degrading part of sex, like choke me, spit on me, like pull my hair and tell me I'm just a nasty little girl. But now I've realized I really like praise kinks.
Yes.
I love it when like you tell me how good I taste or how beautiful I am. Or
Yes.
and it don't even have to be during sex. Like if we're out and you're just like, I love how everybody's looking at you. That I want to go fuck you in the bathroom right now because I love that you see it too. I see it.
Yep.
Yeah, we all see it.
Yeah, and it's like
where's
that
the
just feels so good that you know
praise.
that you got a prize.
Exactly.
Tell me, baby.
Yeah, 'cause look. All of us sitting right here, we are beautiful, empowered women. And anyone that is with us should know that they have a prize because this is like how we are. It's not common.
It's
You know,
not.
it's not common. And so when you have a woman that is empowered, you better praise her and treat her like the queen she is.
And then also on the flip side of that, like yesterday I heard the word conscientiousness and it made me, I love that. I was like, I don't really use that word a lot, but it's important where if, even for the man, like I want you to know too. Like it's like, I'm a prize, but if you're a prize and if you're fucking me well, you're treating me well, I also want you to know. It feels good to hear that.
I love praising men.
Yes.
I like praising my partners. Like I'm also, I'm pansexual, so I have partners. But
You outside.
I'm outside. I'm out here. So like for men specifically though, or penis owners, they don't get appreciation like that.
You don't. They
Yeah.
don't. And when you ask a man, we've asked plenty of men that've been on the show, when's the last time somebody told you that, when's the last time somebody complimented you? And a lot of men don't have an answer.
It's so
Yeah.
it's so wild.
Even people that are in
Compliments.
relationships, they're like, dang, I don't, that's not fair.
You want to know? I'm gonna say for all of the women or people who are in relationships with or want to be in relationships with men or penis owners, this is the key to getting whatever you want. It's very simple. Appreciation. That is it.
And not just on a birthday, not just on a
daily
holiday.
basis. Like so in Authentic Tantra, and I'm giving y'all this tool, right? We do an appreciation practice. And this is just one step of this, but the first step is, you sit and you eye gaze, and then you just share 3 appreciations with each other, things that you appreciate. So even if you don't have time to like sit and do the full practice, you can literally incorporate an appreciation practice on the daily with your partner, either through text or through like voice conversation. And so you could just sit and just think about the things that your partner does for you, or even just things about them that just like light you up and make you feel really good. And it's so quick, a 30-second text.
Simple. Another
Yes.
thing that I like to do is, and this is new for me, I just started, I always buy like a bunch of cards, thank you cards. And I will randomly just put them in the mail and send them to my band. And
I
he's not
love that.
expecting it. So when he
That's
goes
so
to open the
cute.
mail, you're not just seeing bills. You're like, who sent me this? And it'll be
Right.
like, I was at Trader Joe's and I thought of you. Thank you.
That's so cute. I love that. That's old school. So you're like old school penmanship, just like writing it out, because like people don't take the time to just write a letter. I like being written letters. I like getting cards. I got a collection
It
of
catches
cards.
you off guard.
I love
does.
a card.
Yeah, me too.
love
I keep
cards.
all my birthday cards,
Yeah.
Christmas cards.
I love it. It's just like the nostalgia and just seeing people's love for you.
Yeah.
Just going back and being like, and remembering, because sometimes you don't always feel yourself, So
Yeah.
you can go back and look at those cards and you're like, oh, take a deep breath. People do love me and I love myself,
I'm not out here alone.
Exactly.
It's all right.
So yeah, listen, appreciate that man. And I'm telling you, give you the world.
Yeah. Y'all be appreciative out here. One thing that you talked about in another blog post, you do like sex positions of the week.
Yes.
And there was one called Yab Yum.
Ooh, what's that?
What is
Oh,
it?
I love Yab Yum. So Yab Yum is actually a tantric position, and it's great because it aligns the genitals and it also aligns the chakras. And so the person with the vagina is sitting on top of the person with the penis, and
Oh, shoot. We got to have the stamina. Okay, keep going.
and in that position you can eye gaze, you can touch foreheads, you're like heart to heart.
So he's in you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Now, so we also like in tantric practices, we'll sit in Yab Yum when there is no penetration, just for like connection practices and things like that, and like meditation practices. But when you're,
I can't wait to do this.
look, do this.
What if
do
he's
this
way
tonight.
taller than you?
Yeah,
You just gotta
Yum,
stretch.
baby.
Yeah, if he's way taller than you, you just gotta position yourself where like you're just on top of the pelvis. And
Okay.
so it can take a little bit of like Tetris.
Maneuvering.
Yeah, like Tetris maneuvering. But it's such a delicious position to be in.
I can already see how it's almost like it's like a vulnerable
It is.
moment. Just we're not having sex. You're in me, and we're connecting.
Yep, and you can like hug and embrace each other.
I feel like I might cry in that position.
You will, and because you also sync your breath and you get on the same wavelength, right? And so in that position, the stroking is not like long strokes. It's like short. It's pressing, and it's just the bodies like moving together. And so when you sync your breath and you're eye gazing and you're doing that, it's like generating heat and energy.
You fuck around and get pregnant.
And also like that. Like think about it. Like it's a lot of creative energy being generated. So if you and your partner come together and be like, what are we going to do with this energy? What are we going to create? Then you can manifest some shit. You know?
Put a spell on
magic.
It's magic, yes. Because think about it. Sexual energy is creative energy. And sometimes, like when we're feeling sexual frustration, it's also like we have creative frustration. Sometimes we think that we need to rub one out, but really it's like there is something that wants to be birthed from you that hasn't come out yet. And so your sexual energy is like, come on.
Hopefully it's not a
Create.
baby.
Listen,
I wouldn't mind it.
Listen, I'm not a mom yet. I want to be eventually, but I got a strict, like, don't come in me policy. It's like, you got to agree to that before we have sex.
That is very smart.
That is smart. I haven't always held up my end of the bargain with that because I'd be like, just do it.
Listen,
I'll get a plan B later.
Yeah.
I've had some, did you? Oh, no, I didn't. I don't know. I don't trust you. I'm going to need a plan B. Like, or the condom slips, or it slips off. Cause she be gripping. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
She be doing me dirty. I'm like, girl,
Calm down.
right, relax, girl.
Before we move on to Indecisive Diane, what is erotic journaling? Because I am a journaler, but I've never erotic journaled.
Me either. Now that I might be able to get into. Tell us more.
Okay, so you can have a journal that you dedicate just to your eroticism and your sex life. And this is where you document your fantasies, you document your experiences, your frustrations, changes with like your desires and your attractions, your kinks. So this is like literally just a place for you to do all of that work. And then you don't necessarily have to share it with your partner, but if you decide to have a joint erotic journal, then you both can come to this place and write about your experiences. And it's a great way to be honest without judgment, and a great way to like have a springboard to start conversation for when like you want things to be different. Because sometimes it's difficult for people to voice when they want to experience something different in sex, because they're like, well, how do I say this without being offensive?
And now you arguing.
Exactly,
and
for
you
no
standing
reason.
in the corner of the sex clubs fighting on
Exactly.
shrooms. On shrooms. We need an erotic journal.
That sounds very
Exactly.
specific.
Right, very specific. Like, oh, you had this experience before. Yeah, look, tripping on anything and not being on the same page with your person is like, oh baby, okay, I'm sober now.
Erotic journal. I
Yes,
absolutely
erotic
love
journal.
that.
I wanna write
Because you
mine
could do
tonight.
that even if it's just, let's say it's not your boyfriend or something. Let's say it's just someone you always have sex with. You could be like, all right, babe, put it in the bathroom and write something in here, and y'all
Exactly.
can, read it later, or you
She's
write.
trying to make me do this with somebody.
I really did lock eyes. I'm like,
Yeah, you
Put it
locked
in the
eyes.
bathroom.
I was thinking I would just do it alone, but
You can put
okay.
it on, and you can have a joint one too, because the whole thing is like, it just gets you into the practice of placing your eroticism at the forefront of your mind. Because a lot of times, like, people are not thinking about sex until they feel the urge to want to have sex. And for some people, the desire to have sex has to be triggered. It's not just spontaneous. So if you're writing about it and then
I
you're
be
reading
wanting to have
about it.
sex. I
all
want
the
to have
time.
it now.
Look,
Hey, look, listen. I just, I
Like
was
I
like,
need to go to
man.
the website, do a little workout, and then see what's gonna be popping tonight.
And that's great that you said that, because I always tell my clients, like, you can do some of these moves as like a pre warm up for your body before sex. The stretching, the pelvic movement to get blood flowing. You know, because like, have y'all ever felt like the loss of your erection, like the loss of your
Yes,
engorgement?
and it's just
Click,
like,
just go to sleep. You be like, damn, bitch, it's a
and
wrap.
I'm not feeling shit now.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right,
happened?
well,
I'll be like,
is the
time
Golden
out.
Girls on?
You go straight to sleep.
Yep, and go to sleep.
I like that erotic journaling. I'm
Yes.
definitely going to incorporate that into my life.
It's amazing.
It sounds amazing. And another thing I wanted to say was it's so interesting because we get a lot of letters about people saying that their sex life is boring now. They don't know how to like spice it back up, and it's crazy.
And they don't know how to communicate with their partner what they want.
Exactly. Erotic journal.
And it's crazy because all of these things can be so simple. It's not, you don't have to you don't have to watch porn. You don't have to do you can literally connect with each other, and that's what I like about the message that you're sending, because it's just like I do a lot of yoga, and so it's like a lot of times with yoga, these tweaks that you need to make, it might be a tough journey, but the tools are very simple.
They're very simple.
Lock in with you and lock in with your person.
Yep. It's all about I love yoga because Tantra is yoga. And it's all about connection. And it starts with the breath. And people are in actively in fight or flight consistently. And what we teach in Tantra is how to come out of that into rest and digest.
And you'd be surprised. Well, you wouldn't be. I'm not surprised. So many people are scared to connect with themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
They're scared to go there. So when you're complaining about sex and you're complaining about your partner, let's take a look at us real quick.
People don't want to reflect because they don't have the tools to hold themselves accountable. Because when they hold themselves accountable for the things that aren't going right in their lives, then it becomes a spiral of like guilt and shame and like self-loathing. And so it's important to have a coach who can help you navigate those things, because personal accountability and self-reflection is a part of growth and evolving. And like
it really is.
I swear, the person I am right now, like I'm so proud of her, because I remember what I was like 10 years ago. And I wasn't holding myself accountable for things, and I wasn't I was like projecting stuff onto other people, and it was causing harm, and I didn't know that, you know? And so now I'm always like, I'm talking about like moment to moment, being in self-reflection and asking myself like, okay, well, why did this occur? Because if you're the creator of your life, then clearly it came from you. Yeah. So step out of this idea that someone else did something to trigger you, because it's not about them. Like, this is an internal thing. Yeah. And so, but people are not ready. The average person, and I'm happy that like therapy is like becoming quote unquote trendy, but the average person still is not ready to hold themselves accountable, because they don't have the tool set to prepare for what's going to face them. Yeah. Right? And I'm like, look, come over to the Tantra side. We'll help you with that.
We come in. We're doing the cowgirl class.
Come on.
Okay, we are going to move on to Indecisive Diana. When we come back, our girl Tayomi is going to help us with these advice letters.
Ooh, I love it.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Diane. I'm such a well-traveled individual that this week I wanted to give you ladies a different date idea in a different city, maybe one you never thought of going to before. Seattle. The name of the place is called Communion. Black owned. They listen to cocktails. Go there with a group of friends or on a date. The food's tasty. Bye.
Okay, and we are back from Indecisive Diana, and it's time for the advice. If you have a question that you would like to ask us on the show, make sure you email us, advice@cocktailspod.com. Okay, Medina, you got the first one?
Yes, I actually put a little short one in here, and it kind of has to do with what we were kind of talking about, so I'm going to read this. When you're having sex with a new partner, do you observe your own body during sex? Have you ever seen something you didn't like from that angle? Or, yeah, I have. Or have you ever been a little ashy and you're like, God damn. Yep. Or have you ever thought about what they were thinking from that angle? Because I do. My titties be hanging and my back...
Long titty gang gang.
And my back rolls during back shots. and my back rolls during back shots be showing, and I have to laugh it off because I do love my body, but I do wonder what my partner thinks about seeing it from that angle. That's such an honest question. Because sometimes you do see a little angle, and even if you do love yourself and you're confident, you'd be like, dang,
that look a little crazy.
The fupa is fooping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or sometimes for me, it's like when he grabs it, it makes me feel so insecure and I don't want to have sex anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still gonna want to have sex.
I'm still gonna do it, but now I'm not thinking about. I've lost all the tantra.
I be forgetting about my back rolls. That's part of the problem why I'm back in the gym now, because I forgot everything. I don't see that shit. I don't know. And then if you arch your back in a video, that's the only time I'm really looking at it. It's like it'll smooth itself out. I don't know.
Exactly.
But I definitely think my midsection has always been my biggest thing in more ways than one. And I have thought about it, but then I had to get out of my head because I realized, like, when I was actually looking at him and his reactions to what I was doing and just how much he enjoyed it, he did not care about, like, my fat ass belly or my back rolls or whatever was going on. He just really seemed to, like, just be enjoying it and touching everything. And it's not like, ooh, what's this?
Yeah, I think
I had to just get over it.
What tips would you give her?
I literally always tell my clients this especially when I'm teaching my masterclass at Exotica, which is the largest event dedicated to love and sex in the U.S. We have 4 shows a year. Chicago's is our first show, April 21st. Cállate.
Theo knows Spanish.
Yes, he does. Cállate. Siéntate.
I know that's right.
Oop, he did it.
He showed it.
So, I always say, get out of your own head, because
he's not even worried about it.
He's not, because we're having 2 different experiences in the same situation. You thinking about your fupa and your long titties hanging, and he just like, man, I'm getting close to this nut. Like, he's literally just like,
titties in my face.
Right, I got titties in my face. Look, I got long titties. I be like swinging them, just beating the face with them. Like, I always say, know how to, like, laugh at yourself, because the thought will come, and just, like, laugh it off and just keep it rolling. Focus on the pleasure, you know? And
focus on the pleasure.
And if there is a part of your body that you feel insecure about, then you can conceal it. You know, you can have sex under covers, or you can wear a garment that is crotchless. And if a certain movement or like a grabbing of that part of the body makes you feel uncomfortable, then that's a boundary that you set before you have sex, and let your partner know, like, can you not grab this part?
I've done that plenty of times.
Because it makes me feel uncomfortable. Exactly. And if they respect you, then they're going to be like, yes, I got you, babe. And then grab something else. You know what I mean? So literally, don't overthink it.
Yeah.
It's literally us overthinking. We're in our heads. They don't give a fuck.
Because
He already in there.
He already, and I always like to say, remember this, sis. A man will fuck stank pussy.
Listen, BD.
And you worried about
all
your roll.
day. You worried about your roll.
okay
And he over here
every
holding
time.
his nose, just still stroking like, I'm going to get to this nut though. Like,
You're right. He ain't worried about nothing. So
They only care about the orifice. They only and then your reactions to the sex. That's it. And so if you're in your head thinking about your roles, they can see that.
And now the chemistry is off.
It's off. So yeah, keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Okay, well, good luck, girl. Okay, this one says multiple orgasms. Do not use my name. We got you, girl. I'm a new listener for about 6 months, and I love, love, love y'all. My husband and I have been together for 15 and a half years, married for 13 in June. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Our sex life started out wild and crazy. Closet sex, park, car, shower, etc. Then 2 kids and life got busy until I started listening to sex podcasts. Fast forward to date night. He tells me to dress comfortable, and of course, I put on my sexy underwear because it's going down later. We go to the gun range, and watching him shoot made me want him right there, but I tamed myself. When we then go to the sex store, it's an interesting date. We then go to the sex store while waiting for dinner reservations. Our first time, so we get a little of everything. Pleasure toy for me, oil, water-based lube, games, etc. And after my surprise dinner, it was on. Our first time using anything. We start with the oil body rub down and could barely get through it. I have never masturbated before in my life. Oh my God.
Wow.
Let alone with a toy. Girl,
Oh, wow.
I know something just got unleashed in you.
Right.
We placed the wedge sex pillow under my back for a good angle, and he starts playing with my clit with the Playtime pleasure toy, and it felt so good. My head dropped back and legs start to shake. and I came all over. Then he penetrated me with his erect, huge penis, and his thrust was slow and teasing. I came again. He whispers, "I want to make you squirt," and I can barely talk. He then grabs the toy while inside me and placed it in the right spot on my clit while slowly thrusting, and I came for a third time and squirted all over the place. Yes. Luckily, we had a towel down. Then he flips me over and hits it from the back. At this point, I was begging him to come. It felt so good, but the way my legs were shaking after 3 orgasms, baby, we both came. Now he's sleeping next to me, snoring, while my heart rate finally comes back to normal. This is only the beginning. It's 1 a.m. Should I wait to see what happens when he wakes up? Oh, this is more of a cocktail, but that's all right. It was an excellent story. I want to know what happened when he woke up. Did he wake up soon, or was it the next morning? Because y'all was probably so tired.
Let us know.
They had a lit night.
They did.
The gun range, the sex shop, the
and a little
surprise
dinner. He fed her too?
I was like,
a little workout.
Right. Okay. I love it.
That was more of a cocktail, but it's great because we are at our time. And Tammy, you know what a cocktail is.
Yes.
So now it is your turn to share a cocktail for cocktails. I feel like you're going to have a good one.
Jeez.
Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe.
Okay, so this is like one of my favorite stories because it's a lot going on here. So there was this guy that I used to smash. We met in Vegas, and when we met in Vegas, the entire time we were there, we was just getting it in with each other. Like plans that we had, we just canceled them. He even missed his flight and everything. And he was from New York, he's from Queens, and Jamaican, tatted up, like just sexy, okay? So it didn't just stay in Vegas. It came out of Vegas. And like for 3 years, we was like, getting it in. So every time I would go to New York, we would have our little play date. So this particular day, he's a barber. So he had got off work. I got off work. He came to pick me up. I think I was staying in Harlem, and he came to get me, and we went to Queens. So as, we're riding, I'm seeing his phone blowing up, and he's ignoring it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Not really thinking about it, because I don't go through men's phones like that. And also, it's none of my business while your phone's going off. Plus, he has clients, and sometimes, he does, late night stuff. So I was like, whatever. So then, while we're riding there, he's like, I'm going to call my plug to cop for us. I was like, cool, because we both stoners, whatever. So we get to the house, we get it in. It's nice and juicy, and then we're sleeping. So
I'm scared.
Me too.
Who is coming to the door?
So we're sleeping. And so then I hear this knocking at the window. And I was like, the fuck is that? And so I remembered that he said he had called the plug. So I was like, okay, well maybe, because I saw he was ignoring his phone, right? So I was like, well, maybe he was ignoring his phone. We were just asleep. Maybe the plug is knocking on the window to try to get our attention. So I was like, okay, whatever. So then we just ignored it and just kept cuddling or whatever. So then it was knocking at the door. And I was like, the fuck is going on?
Right, and he's still asleep.
Right. So he finally gets up and goes to the door, right? And to check it out. So then all of a sudden, at the fucking window, all I hear is right?
They breaking in.
There's an air conditioning unit in the window. Somebody is pulling the air conditioning.
He fake sleeping.
No, he wasn't asleep. He was at the door at this point. Somebody is pulling the air conditioning unit out of the window. All of a sudden, he comes running back into the room. This little short bitch jumps through the window, leaps over the bed, and he catches her.
She's coming to you.
Bruh. He catches her as she jumps over the bed. Now, I got the covers over me. What the fuck is happening?
Right.
He catches her. They start tussling.
I'm mad.
It's stuff falling off the walls.
She
they
yanked
are
the
tussling.
AC
Are you still in the bed? Are you putting your clothes on?
I'm still in the bed. Now, look. Once he caught her and they went to the hallway, cause I'm butt-ass naked. I grabbed the covers. I had long-ass Marley twist at the time. I grabbed the covers. I go lock myself in the bathroom. I took my Marley twist and I wrapped
what's
them
about
up.
to happen.
Yes, I wrapped them up in a bunch from Chicago. Like anything be going.
I was just about to say, the Chicago about to pop out.
I wrapped my Marley twist up in a bun. I'm looking around the bathroom like, where's a weapon? I thought it was a toothbrush. My dad's a Marine. He taught me how to use anything as a weapon. So I got a toothbrush and I put my back against the door and I waited. And all I
ready
hear,
for war.
I was ready. All I hear is, where that bitch at? Get me at her. La la la. I was like, what the fuck
It's
is
always
happening?
the little ones.
She was little as hell and Jamaican, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So this happens and I just hear craziness going on. And then I hear the door close. I don't hear any more commotion. So then I peek out the bathroom. I put my clothes on and all of that. He comes back talking about some, where you going?
You know what?
Home. Nigga, what? Where am I going?
Did you see what just happened?
I'm going home. I said, what the fuck?
Who was she?
Take me home, right? So, also weird, he had 2 cars. We had to take his lesser car. He had a foreign car and like a regular like domestic car, like a Toyota. We took the Toyota.
The work car.
Took the Toyota. And so we're riding. I said, what the fuck was that? He was like, man, it's just this little chick from the shop. She obsessed with me, la, la, la. Boy, that's a woman that you be fucking on a regular, and she was the one blowing up your phone while you was riding me from Harlem. And you were ignoring her, and she felt entitled to your dick that night and went crazy because she peeked in the window and saw us laying there, and that's why she felt emboldened to jump through the window.
Okay.
That, I was like, I never saw him again after that because I was like, bruh, you put me in danger.
You know how last week we were talking about dating traumas?
Yes.
That's traumatic.
That's I don't want
as
to fuck
hell.
another nigga with a window unit, period.
Yo, when I heard the screw, and I saw the air conditioner unit come out the window and
That
she
is
jumped in. She was like 5'2".
Did you ever talk to him again?
No.
Yeah, that's a wrap
You
for
were
me.
strong.
Because what do you got going on?
No, sir.
Too damn much.
Tammy, that was a. If we gave
That
out
was a great
cocktails
cocktail.
awards, you would have got a cocktail. That was amazing.
That was a wild
Thank
one.
you so
I
much.
called her a Jamaican kung fu bitch because I was like, yo, the way she jumped over the bed, I was like, damn, she got hops. Like,
Yeah, she's been working
That's
it out.
scary. I had an issue like that with a Jamaican girl. I was supposed to have a threesome with her and her boyfriend. She fell asleep. We started because he said it was okay. She came down swinging. I'm
Yeah,
not a
nah.
fighter. I'm not from Chicago. I'm from Arlington, Texas.
okay, but still,
So-
your fight senses or flight senses get
Yeah.
activated when that happens.
Yeah, that's crazy. Tayomi, thank you so much for coming and sharing your wisdom, your time, your energy. We appreciate it.
Tell everybody where they can find you, like all your social media, website, and all that jazz.
So I got lots of websites. Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at Real Glamazon Tayomi. My blog site, Glamorerotica101.com, and the YouTube channel that's of the same name, Glamorerotica101.com. Twitter at Glamazon Tayomi. We get lit over there. We have public discourse around sex. And if you want to become a dick assassin and learn how to snatch souls,
I do.
come and join the Cowgirl Tribe, members.thecowgirlworkout.com. Highly suggest that you get in right now because at the end of April, things are switching up. I'm just saying. Price is switching up, format switching up. Get in right now. I have a website called thepleasureacademy.com, which is my evergreen courses. So if you just want to this is like fully launching this month, y'all. So, go there, check it out, and sign up for the mailing list for when we officially launch. And follow your girl on social. Like, I love talking to my followers. Down to earth, cool.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Come on,
Scorpio sun, Virgo moon, Libra rising.
Oh, I'm a Virgo and she's a Libra.
Okay, you vibe so well. I was like, I love this energy.
The energy has been amazing.
It has.
Thank you
so
so much
much
for coming. You guys, we
Thank
hope you
y'all.
enjoyed this episode as much
Yes.
as we did. If you're interested in the things that Kiki and I have going on, make sure you check the links in the description. Follow us at Cocktails Podcast. I'm at Coffee Bean Dean.
And I'm at Kiki Said So. And until next week, you guys,
Goodbye.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the try. Bye. 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 Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Wait on the track. Wait on the track. I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the track. Bye. Bye. Bye.